Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Tetteh Network and the civil society mechanism of the FfD. There is a general refrain that we all share here that we have been saying about the role of the WTO and UNCTAD as institutions which are central to maintaining the multilateral trading system and the value for predictability that we need for development. But it is important in this context to be very clear about the reality of those two institutions today and what they have become and what can be done to them so that they can actually fulfill their mandates. Mr. Chairman, there's no sugarcoating the fact that the WTO in particular has developed into a very hostile place where the capacity of developing and least developed countries to effectively participate and promote their interests is at stake. The recent ministerial conference in Cameroon, actually, however much we say about it, the reality of the deadlock is driven by the fact that big powers in the WTO were now using the many means to promote their interests and carve advantage for themselves at the expense of the majority. The so-called reform proposals put forward by the big powers all the way from North America, Europe, and Asia were designed basically to attack the fundamental principles of consensus, single undertaking, SDT, which are important for the capacity of developing countries and LDCs to effectively participate. And these reform proposals were actually at the expense of the long-standing demands by developing countries since 1996 to redress the imbalances of the WTO which have prevented them from benefiting. A few things have been mentioned here. Some of the proposals that were made in Cameroon were more brazen, including people who just wanted to destroy MFN and things like that. But the less brazen ones, including investment for trade facilitation, end up with the same effect. Investment for trade facilitation, there's no record that if you have those degrees will attract investment to developing countries. The danger, though, is that by bringing together a group of people to launch an agreement against the general consensus of all people, we set up a precedent in which agreements in the WTO will not now be based and discussed consensually, but a group of powerful countries can bring together their friends and launch agreements which the smaller countries cannot do. Mr. Chairman, these kinds of development is something that we in a place like the United Nations, which is committed fundamentally to supporting the capacity and participation of the most vulnerable, have to address to. Because as we say, the Cameroon package will now go to Geneva to be addressed. What it means is that we have got more than 12 months or more in which the developed countries, the big powers, are going to continue their agenda of attacking the fundamental principles of the WTO. And if we don't wake up to that, then all the claims and aspirations that we put on the WTO will come back to nothing. And we in the United Nations have to stand up to that and side on the side of developing countries. Thank you very much.